quick little catch-up for the people who are watching this on YouTube in the future. At the end of the last stream, after we made the crusher, we did go ahead and make another small compact machine, not to be confused with the tiny compact machine. So now, if we go out to this bedrock room, we have one small compact machine, a 5x5 room, that is kind of the main hub room that we're doing all of our work in. We then currently have two tiny compact machines, one of which is home to our storage compactor, which is not called that, it's called a small compactor. I'll go ahead and tick that. And then we also have another tiny machine that is currently home to our metal press and our workbench. We'll go ahead and call this bench and press, give that a tick. And then we also now have, well, we also have the other tiny machine that is being used for our thermoelectric generators, providing our power to the sawmill and the garden cloche. But we now have a new small compact machine, which currently just holds the crusher. So we do now have quite a bit more space than we did in the last episode, but we do also have, you know, still a large chunk of our space being taken up by this just monstrously large machine right here, which we hopefully will get around to using at some point in today's stream, because hopefully, chat, hopefully, by the end of today's stream, we will have our very first 7x7x7 small compact machine, allowing us to get into growing real trees for the first time, as opposed to the small bonsai trees, getting real wood, and then also, more importantly, getting these little diamond nuggets, which will finally allow us to get into refined storage and hopefully, once and for all, get rid of all of these chests that are taking up so much space and are still causing us a world of hurt, because as you'll see, we are still very much so almost out of storage space. I have been doing a little bit more in the way of resource generation between streams. I made some Constantan pickaxes, and I also made some bronze pickaxes. The bronze pickaxes give you just copper grit. These guys right here. So basically, hitting the wall with the Constantan pick and a bronze pick in slots 1 and 2, like this, gets you just iron grit and copper grit, because iron and copper are kind of the items that we need the most of in today's stream. And we've mentioned it before, but if we're going to make this really large 7x7 machine, we need, I think it's 1,520 iron dust and 1,520 uranium grit, as well as some redstone, but I'm fairly certain we already have more than 500 redstone available to us. And outside of just spending the first like 2 hours of this stream getting iron dust and uranium, I think we should automate it. I think we should try and automate the process of getting uranium, getting iron, and as a byproduct, also getting things like copper and silver and lead and redstone, all that jazz as well. And I think, chat, that we can do all of that within one tiny compact machine using our auto clicker. So the way we're going to do this is we first of all need to, I want to automate basically every step of the process. So I would like to automate the creation of cobblestone and iron pickaxes. Because if we go ahead and look in JEI real quick here, the cobblestone pickaxe gives us lead, copper, nickel, tin, and iron. It gives us 5 items. The iron pick, the reason we need to automate the stone pick, by the way, is that we need the iron that we get from the stone pick to make the iron picks automatically. The iron pick gives you flint, uranium, silver, redstone, and gold. So hopefully, by the end of today's stream, we will have we'll have like a tiny little compact machine that can spit out all 10 of those resources basically indefinitely, to the point where hopefully we never have to manually make those pickaxes again, and we don't have to spend any time smashing the wall with those pickaxes. To do that, we are going to need a couple of things. We're going to need a few sequential fabricators, which are basically little auto crafters from thermal expansion, and these are fairly easy to make. We're going to need at least one igneous extruder, that being this guy right here. This is going to allow us to create infinite cobblestone for those cobblestone pickaxes. We need a redstone furnace, which might not be strictly necessary, but I think it's going to make smelting iron the easiest. We could try and automate smelting iron with a regular furnace, but in terms of doing it in a small amount of space, it's much, much easier to do with the redstone furnace from thermal expansion, and the redstone furnace from thermal expansion is not that difficult to make, right? So that shouldn't be too hard. And then finally, Twitch chat did tell me in the last stream that we can use the vacuumulator, which is also from thermal expansion, as a way of collecting items in a large area. So hopefully we can collect all of the items generated by the iron and the cobblestone pick in the one vacuumulator, and then pump those through into the overworld here, or this other compact machine that we have for, you know, easy access. So first things first, chat, we need to make one more of these tiny compact machines. We might also today have to make another one of these, another, thermoelectric generator box, because I think that the setup we're going to make today is going to use close to 240 redstone flux per tick, which is what this setup here produces. And obviously that's not including the garden cloche and the sawmill. So we might start to run out of power a little bit in today's stream, but we'll see. If we do, we can always make another one. If we don't, then everything should be good. So once again, in the calculator, if we want to make a tiny compact machine, we need wood, 29 redstone, 80 iron, and 80 uranium, all of which I think we should have, fairly easily here. We've got quite a lot of all of those resources lying around now. And so a tiny compact machine, what are we missing here? Oh yeah, of course, we just need to make that into modularium and then craft it. Now, how much do I need here? I need 4 plus 16, so yeah, 20 is bang on. Let's go ahead and smelt that up. I guess whilst we wait for that modularium to smelt up, we can look at actually making all of these guys over here. I think we'll start with the igneous extruder. That doesn't seem too bad. We also do have 2 Invar lying around here already. And in fact, I believe that for all of this, outside of the vacuumulator, all of these need machine frames. And so I might as well make those all at once. I believe I need 5 machine frames because the setup that I have planned requires 3 sequential fabricators. One of them is going to make sticks, and then the other 2 are going to make the respective pickaxes, right? One's going to make cobblestone pickaxes, and one is going to make iron pickaxes. So we need 3 sequential fabricators, 1 igneous extruder, and 1 redstone furnace. So in total, that's 5 machine frames. 5 machine frames means we need 20 iron, 20 glass, and 5 tin gears. Now, I did start making a little bit of glass ahead of time, and somewhat annoyingly, oh, perfect. I was going to say somewhat annoyingly, we only have 19, but never mind. We had a little bit more lying around in one of our chests there. And then I do also have a few other things cooking up as well. Let's make sure we've got fuel in there. So let's go and craft the tin gears, because those are one of the easiest parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's go ahead and make all of those machine frames. Beautiful. And then from there, we need copper gears. We need redstone reception coils for both of those, actually. We need Invar. We need a lot of copper gears, is essentially the long and short of it. We do have a lot of copper grit, and not too much in the way of copper ingots, but hopefully enough to get us through these initial crafts here. There is, yeah, if I click balance grid, does that work how I think it does? It does. Okay, so I never used these, but I really should get into the habit of clicking these buttons when I want to balance things out. So for example, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, drop all the rest of the ingots here, and then click balance grid, and it will just evenly distribute those. That's probably something that people have been telling me to do for the longest time, and I've just not been doing. So I need, what, 10 copper gears, I think? So I think I am just a little bit shy here on what we need. But again, if I do this and this, I'll take 11. That's fine. So let's see here. We need tin. The reception coils, again, should also be pretty easy for us to do, and each one of these machines does require it. So we do need 5 redstone reception coils as well. And then from there, chat, I don't think it's going to be too difficult. I think the hardest part, actually, might be the bricks, which shouldn't be too difficult either, but we don't have what it takes to make those just yet. We're going to have to go and get some dust, put that in water, and then smelt the clay from there, but that's, not going to be a problem. We also do need at least 1 more piece of glass, and I think, unfortunately, I am pretty much completely out of cobblestone now. All right, where is my... Ooh, do I have... I don't have an unlimited water source right now, do I? I do not. Okay. Oh, no, Can you pull out of the aqueous accumulator? Oh, you totally can. Okay, perfect. Never mind, chat. So we can do like this. Beautiful. People in the YouTube comments did also point out that you can use the unlimited water source from Nuclearcraft. This guy right here, the infinite water source block, which does the same thing as the aqueous accumulator, but doesn't require the water blocks to be around it. And while that is a better solution that takes up less space, much like the cobblestone generator, we actually can't make this just yet due to the fact that it requires that graphite dust, which we are pretty close to getting. But we need to get this bigger room first, because you'll notice we have to go through this. We have to have real wood to then make coke, to then get that graphite dust. So we are a little bit further away from that. All right, so we have, I think, pretty much everything it takes to make our next tiny compact machine. I'll put that down in just a second here. We should also pretty much now have everything it takes to make these machines required. We should have what it takes to make a redstone furnace. We also hopefully have what it takes to make an igneous extruder. Our Invar is right there. Kapow. And then do we have what it takes to make 3 sequential fabricators? Again, I think we do. If we grab 12 planks here, we can make those 3 crafting tables, and then just a little bit of tin, which we do also, I think, have. Yes, we do. Beautiful. And boom. Nice. All right. So what I am thinking here, chat, is I'm thinking I have organized things a little bit, you know, so that all of this is nicely on the left side of the room. But one of the things that we are going to have to tap into if we want to automate the crafting of pickaxes is our unlimited source of wood in this cache. So we have to put the tiny compact machine that, you know, does all the pickaxe banging near this cache. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move basically everything over onto this side of the room, simply due to the fact that as soon as we have all of these, you know, grits, like the iron, the tin, the silver, the copper, the redstone, the flint, all that stuff being made, we have to store it somewhere. And I think given that we kind of want to leave this running and we want to get a large amount of all of those items, we probably want to make enough caches to hold all of those. So we probably want to have 10 caches on this wall somewhere. And again, I would rather not have item ducts running kind of like all around the room. So realistically, I want those caches to be fairly close to the tiny compact machine. So I think we do need space on this side of the room. So now, chat, we need tunnels, right? Because the way this is going to work, we're going to have our wood and our power moving from the outside of the compact machine in, right? And to do that, we need tunnels. And we're also going to have all of the things that are made in the compact machine come out via a tunnel. And so I think we're going to need like at least 3 tunnels. And there is a quest here to make the tunnels. Linking your rooms together, this makes it possible to pipe items between your rooms. Time to make the factory of your dreams. The reason I bring this up, we have made a tunnel before, but if we complete this quest, we get 2 free tunnels of each type. And so I think we should probably go ahead and try and make 2 of these regular tunnels and then 2 of these redstone tunnels just to complete the quest and just to get those free extra tunnels, which should hopefully save us a little bit of time. Now, these are not actually too bad, and we might even have some of this stuff lying around. We do have 1 redstone engineering block already good to go, and the next redstone engineering block is also surprisingly easy to make. We just need a little bit of copper here. And then the light engineering blocks are a little bit more expensive, but albeit not super expensive, really. Although people did tell me, I think, that we can make these cheaper in like a workbench, or maybe we can make the components cheaper. Oh, we totally can. So we can use less iron plates if we make the component in the engineer's workbench. And I think we do have the component blueprint. Yes, we do indeed. Okay, so we can actually make those in here, just 2 iron plates and 1 copper ingot. That is beautiful. That's what we want to see. I like to see efficiency, chat. Always. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any plates lying around, but that's fine. So we need 2 of these, right? And you do make 2 at a time? Yeah, so we just need 2 components. We need 4 plates and 2 ingots. And I think we're good to go, chat. My inventory's getting a little messy. Some people did mention that we do have backpacks in the game, and it might be a terrible idea to try and make some of those. I'm missing one piece of copper, chat. There we go. Beautiful. All right. And that should be pretty much everything, right? 3 copper and 4 iron. So we'll take all the copper. I'll put some of this stuff away because it's getting a little cramped. And we already have the iron. Beautiful. So, boom. Boom. And then we just got to run those through the old stamper over here. The old kaplunker. Are you referring to satchels? I am indeed. Yes, that is what I meant by backpacks. So there's that quest complete there. We do get to choose which one we take. We're definitely going to take this one right here because these ones allow us to move basically anything, that being like items or redstone through, not redstone, sorry, items or power, aka redstone flux, through into compact machines. Now, where do I want to put this is a good question. I think I'm probably going to put it like back here, like that. Maybe not. Maybe not. We need to put this somewhere where we can access like 3 sides of it because we need to pump wood out of the cache into here. Like you can't do that. This can't automatically output, so we do have to have some kind of like item duct or item conduit moving the wood out of this cache into the compact machine. We then need another side that has access to the leadstone flux ducts, and then we need a 3rd side available to pull out the final product. So How do I want to do this is a good question, chat. Because if we put it back here, we have access to only two sides, right? We can put power in the top and we can pump the items down the bottom, but then we can't get our items out of there. We could, oh, didn't want to do that. We could, if we wanted to, put it like here and then have like power going in the back, wood coming in the top, and then items coming out like this side. Let me go ahead and make the caches here, because we do also, even before we start any of this, we need to figure out where we're going to put all of the product that comes out of it. Because if we don't, then things are just going to back up very quickly. So if I need 10 caches, that means I need at least 10 chests. And then from there, I need what? 30 tin, and then 10 of these, which is 20 redstone and 10 iron. We have I think we've got all of it on us as well. Beautiful. There we go. And these things can hold a surprising amount. I don't know if they've been tweaked for this pack. Oh my goodness, they don't stack. Okay, so how do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do still want to be able to access that, so I'm not going to touch that. This is where it gets awkward, because we have to have item conduits connecting to all of these. And so we can't really... I guess we could put an item here. I guess we could put them all here, right? Like we could do this and this. It becomes real... Like space-wise, it becomes real janky. But I think it might be fine. Like if we just do something like that. We're going to lock all of these anyway. Can I not break this? Hold on. Let me just climb up there real quick. So I can grab it like that. There we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. We're going to have an item conduit come out of there and then just connect to all of these. All of these are going to be locked. You can lock them by, I think, just right-clicking them. Or shift right-clicking. When you're not too close. If you shift right-click from far away, and you'll see it gets that little lock icon right there. So it doesn't, so nothing else can go in or out apart from wood. So we will lock all these. We'll make sure that all of the stuff is connected up. Let me go ahead and make some of the item conduits that we're going to need. We'll go with the opaque ones for now, just because they're cheaper. It's just 2 tin and 1 lead. I don't know if we have any lead smelted. We do. Fantastic. And we do already have tin on us from earlier. So the idea here, chat, is that, of course, these are going to all connect like this. We'll have a server pulling out of this side of the tiny compact machine. I'm actually not quite sure which side that is in terms of, like, this is north, and if I press F3, let me just check. Okay, so this side here is east. So inside the machine, we need to make sure that when we have our tunnel that is pumping items out, it pumps out to the east. That's fine. We can, I'm going to jot that down real quick. Items out east, just so I remember for the future. Then, on top of that, let me move this real quick because we need to have power coming in. And we do have the flux ducts available, so we'll do something a little bit like that. So the power is going to come in on this side, which is west. So again, I'll go ahead and type power west or west. And then finally, we have wood that's going to come in the top. So wood top. All right. And then we can go ahead and put this guy back. And we are going to need our crescent hammer for this, which is lying around right about there. Because in order to work in such a small, compact space, we are going to have to disconnect certain things. So for example, you can like right click this here and that will disconnect this pipe from connecting to this cache. In this case, we're going to have one of our item ducts go right here and we want to disconnect it from there so that the wood can just go down and then directly into the tiny compact machine right there. Now, before we head in and before we get things, you know, make things even more complicated, we do need to make some servos. These are thankfully fairly easy to make. We might want to upgrade them in the future, but I'll start with the basic ones, and if we get bottlenecked, we can always upgrade later on down the line. And for this, I think the only thing we're really missing is once again glass, which is slowly becoming the bane of my life. We have basically none of the stuff. I am going to start smelting up some more gold here, so we can make another gold pick and try and get more more glass in a fairly reasonable amount of time. All right, so we should have what it takes now to make a servo. Outside of those iron nuggets, which of course are very easy to make. Kapow. And I'll go ahead and make 4 because I'm not quite sure how many we're going to need. So that is going to extract eventually, and we're going to extract from there as well in the future. So now, chat, I'm going to rename this real quick. Actually, we need to go in first. But now, chat, comes the hard part of the process, because now we actually have to make the system that produces the resources. So resource generation. Tick. So let me get my clickers, which are in my inventory. Never mind. So my plan, chat, is to try and fit all of this in here. So I'm thinking we have a clicker here and a clicker here. One of these is going to be home to a wooden pick, and one of them is going to be home to an iron pick. You do have to leave this gap. You unfortunately can't put them right up against the wall. They do have to have a little bit of space to breathe. And then from there, I think the best way of doing this, I think I'm going to have this one produce cobblestone picks, and this one use iron picks, this one use cobblestone picks. So for the cobblestone picks, we need to first craft sticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a tunnel right here, and that tunnel is going to connect up, because up is where the wood comes in. So now if we pop back out, we should see that that has connected. It has. So now if we, go ahead and set this to ignore redstone, it should start pulling some of the almost 4,000 wood that we have in this cache out and pumping it in to whatever we put here. In this case, we're going to put our sequential fabricator right there. And then if we set the, so shift left click to clear all the inputs. If we set the right side to input, it's going to start receiving oak wood. Nice. Now I'm going to turn this off temporarily, because this leads us nicely into a new problem. Because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our igneous extruder probably somewhere like there, so that we can then pump the cobblestone directly into this machine, because we're going to have another fabricator right here. So the sticks are going to be made here, and then that's going to be pumped down into here. Now, this machine is actually fine. So we can set it to input, and we can set the bottom to output, and we have to set the recipe. So we're going to set it to sticks and tick. So now, if we provide this machine with power, it will turn any wood in this bottom slot into sticks. However, the next section is where it gets a little tricky, because in here, we're going to have both cobblestone and picks. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can click the recipe in JEI and then shift click it in. You can indeed. The problem we have here is that without an upgrade, it's possible that this inventory here gets full of either cobblestone or sticks. For example, if we're making cobblestone faster than we're making sticks, or vice versa, this slot here is going to get full of one of the two resources, and then it's not going to be able to get, it's going to get stuck. It's not going to be able to make more pickaxes. However, thankfully, the developer of thermal expansion is a genius, and there is actually a solution to this in the form of the pattern validation. For the sequential fabricator, it adds intelligent auto input capability, which designates 2 slots for each crafting slot. So what it's going to do is in here, it's going to see that there are 2 slots for sticks, and therefore allocate 4 slots to sticks down here. And there are 3 slots dedicated to cobblestone, and so it's going to allocate 6 slots to cobblestone. So at any point in time, there are never going to be any more than this many slots full. These ones are always going to be empty, but it means that it's never going to overfill on one item, which is ideal. So that's that. Real quick, I am going to go and set the igneous extruder up, because I think that's probably one of the easier items to set up here. We just have to put lava and water into it, and it's pretty much good to go. Now, we don't have a bucket of lava, but again, that shouldn't be too difficult. Let me just go ahead and plop the water in there. And then lava we can make, of course, with our little squeezer down here. So I'll quickly throw the button probably on the floor like that to reset that. And then, do we have blaze powder? I think we do, right? I do. It's in my inventory, you fool. Let's just quickly do some jumping. But once we have 1 bucket of lava, we can jump back in. And then this is pretty much good to go. We do need to set it to cobblestone, like that. And now, as soon as we provide this with power, it's going to consume 20 redstone flux per tick and produce infinite cobblestone. We want to make sure that cobblestone is outputted to the right. And then in here, we want to make sure that both the top and the back are inputs for the sticks and the cobblestone. And then we're going to make sure that the bottom is an output. So that's where all the pickaxes are going to go. We, of course, have to provide power to these as well. These both need to be set to left click so that they use the pickaxes to get us resources. Now, on this side, it's a pretty similar story. We're going to have a sequential fabricator right about here. This one is going to receive iron from up here. So the iron is going to come back in, I think. Ooh, okay. So we run into an issue here. Not necessarily an issue, but we run into a potential issue. Actually, it's a non-issue because I've surprisingly managed to kind of solve this problem before it becomes a problem. What we're going to do here is we're going to have all of the stuff generated by essentially, we're making cobblestone pickaxes. That cobblestone pickaxe is going to hit the wall, right? Right now, it's just making, it's hitting the wall with its bare hand, so it's just making dirt dust. I'm going to switch this real quick just so it doesn't do anything. I guess we can do that by doing this. But we're going to generate all of the things from the cobblestone. Then we're going to send all of that out. The way we're going to do that is through the vacuumulator, which we've not made yet, but we'll come back to that. So the vacuumulator is going to suck up all the items, and then there's going to be a tunnel on the floor that pumps those items out. We should probably put the tunnel down, if we have it, actually. Just so we can get this going here. So there's going to be a tunnel right here, let's say, that goes to east. Like that. Not that. That. There. So that's going to send items. I'm a fool. We'll try that again. East. There we go. So that's going to send all of the stuff that comes from the cobblestone pick out this side here. We're going to put a servo on that. Like so. And then set that to, of course, ignore redstone signals. Like that. And everything's going to be sent out. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to have another item duct here. Now, that's going in the bottom. So let me once again in my notepad type in iron in bottom. Because then what we're going to do, chat, is back inside the machine, up here, let me move this real quick, we're going to have another tunnel, let's say right there. Make sure it's set to bottom, which is down. Like that. And that's where the iron's going to come back in. And we're going to do that through the power of retrievers. Oh, misclicked. Retrievers. These guys right here. So the servos will extract, so they'll pull anything from this cache, for example, into the tiny compact machine. We're going to put a retriever here, which is going to pull iron from wherever it is. Let's say that this cache here holds all the iron that is made from the cobblestone pick. That is then going to be requested by this retriever. So it's going to suck the iron back over to here and put it into the redstone furnace. So we'll set the left side here to input, the bottom to output. That iron is then going to go down into here, which of course has the top to input. And then we're probably going to have something that looks a little bit like this, with a few tweaks here and here to get these sticks that are made in here also sent around into here. So they go in both locations. And then from there, the iron pickaxe is made and deposited out at the bottom. Like that. I think that's good to go. I think that's almost there. Now, we might have to tweak this a little bit, chat, because the hardest part about any of this is power. But I think power should work. I'm so happy he knows what he's doing. My brain is hurting. I spent a while yesterday, like, trying to cram it all into one space, and I think it works. Like, it's a little convoluted, but once once you've got the basics down, I don't think it's too bad. Normally, you do need the Eye of Ender for the retriever, but thankfully, I think this is a custom recipe. We can make it in this pack with the blaze powder and not the Eye of Ender, which is very nice indeed. We do need one glass, which, again, we should have up here. We do, thank goodness. And then, kapow, nice. So here, we're just going to set that down, and then we're going to say, iron ingots, whitelist, and then ignored, sorry, not iron ingots, iron grits is what's going to be requested. Like so, whitelist, and then ignore. So now if we put iron grit, let's say, into here, you'll see right now it's got 3. The 3 is taken. Obviously, what we're going to do is we're going to lock it. So when you, if we go ahead and shift right click, again, from a distance, this one, first of all, you got to put the item in. So the iron grit, like so. Then shift right click, and it's going to lock it. So now we can take basically all that out, and it's still waiting for iron grit, so nothing else can get in there, despite the fact that it has no iron grit in it, which is the whole idea. But the iron grit that was taken out should be in here. We should also change our entry point to, like, here for now. But yeah, the iron grit is in there. Perfect. So now, as soon as this receives a redstone, as soon as it receives redstone flux, it's going to start making iron ingots, putting those iron ingots into the sequential fabricator, which is going to combine them with the sticks to make iron pickaxes. And then the auto clicker is also going to do its job in hitting those iron pickaxes against the wall. So now, chat, we need to make these upgrades for these two sequential fabricators to make sure that they don't get too many sticks or too much cobblestone or too many sticks or too much iron, right? So let's head back and see about making those. I don't think they're too bad, actually. No, so we need 2 tin gears, 4 iron ingots, 2 redstone servers, and 2 glass. All right, so that is both of those made. That was also a quest down here in Chapter 1. No reward for it, though. That's fine. So in here, we do actually have to, never mind, make the upgrades. Because we can't, you can't put an augment into a thermal expansion machine until it's been upgraded. Right now, like this sawmill here doesn't have any space for augmentation because it doesn't have an upgrade. You can upgrade any thermal expansion machine with a hardened upgrade kit. That's the first tier at least. And so for us, we're going to need at least 8 Invar, which as always shouldn't be too difficult to do. We just need nickel grit and iron grit, both of which we have in abundance. So we'll get 9 for now, I guess, and start smelting those up somewhere up here. There we go. And whilst we're waiting for that, we can also go ahead and make the bronze as well, which is tin and copper. Again, both of which we have in reasonable abundance. We might be running out of tin, actually, fairly slowly but surely. We do have, thankfully, enough for now, though. And is that all right? Oh, it might be like this. Yeah, there we go. So for that, we just need, I think we need 8. We need 2 gears. So we'll start smelting that up as well. And that should allow us to upgrade both of our sequential fabricators to then go ahead and throw in the pattern validation augment. Back inside of our machine, let's go ahead and upgrade you and you. And then we'll do the same thing with the augment. Boom and boom. You can either right click or you can open up and put them in up here. Either works. And so now they shouldn't end up with any more than is necessary of each item that's in there. This guy over here is going to make iron pickaxes, so we'll shift click that in like so. Give that a quick tick. And now, chat, I think we're almost there. We do need the vacuumulator, so we also need power. And power is going to be the tricky part. Not only do we have to make more flux ducts, because I think right now I am kind of fresh out of flux ducts. And for flux ducts, we are going to need more glass, which requires yet more sand that we currently don't have. We're always behind on sand. We also need to make the vacuumulator, actually. And the vacuumulator might be a little easier for us to make with what we have on us. So let me quickly see if I can't throw one of these together. Do we have a hopper lying around? We do indeed. Beautiful. Let's grab that. The device frame requires some tin, some more glass, and another gear. So we actually need at least 5 more glass. So let's grab, once again, sticks and gold. And let's make some more sand, shall we? All right, so back over here, we should be able to make ourselves the old device frame. Just as soon as we get some tin and 1 copper gear. I think we are running a little low on tin, but I think we do still have a tiny bit left, enough to make ourselves the old vacuumulator here. We have the iron gears. We can make ourselves a servo just as soon as we grab some of that redstone. And I think, chat, that's pretty much everything it takes. It is, nice. So this simply just picks up items. You put it down. If you drop items nearby, it will suck it up. I think its area is quite big. For example, if I drop something over here, it gets sucked up still, so it definitely should be able to pick up any items that are inside of the compact machine here. And the best part about all of it is that it doesn't require any redstone flux. It's power-free, which is very nice indeed. So now comes potentially a slight issue, chat, because now this backlot of machines, or maybe this is not an issue. I'm thinking about how I want to do this, because we're going to have our vacuumulator here. Right, let me move these item books real quick. Because now we need to send... It's easy enough to get power to all of these machines, because we can just do it from where we're standing, right? The hard part is getting power to this guy right here. How do we power this igneous extruder? I think the answer is we move this redstone furnace to here. That way we can have power... kind of come in here, go up, across, and then maybe even, like, yes, I think we can have power come, like, up, around the top, down, and up over there. Okay, that means I do have to move this downward-facing tunnel. That's fine. Let's put that here. Let's move you there. Let's make sure you're set to input on the back, but then output on the left. And then you need to be changed to input on the back and the... Oh, yes. Input on the back and also input on the right, not input on the top. Because the right is where these are going to come down, like that. All right. I think we're pretty much there, chat. It's so convoluted, but I'm pretty sure that we are basically there. So let me get some redstone. Let me make some more leadstone conduits. So power is coming in from the west. So in here, we're going to have yet another tunnel, maybe like our 5th one. And then we're going to have this set to west, like that. And then we're going to have power basically come up, across again, over to there, and then also like that. Okay, so I think, chat, we actually have everything good to go. This is making sticks. Those sticks are being pushed down. This should be making cobblestone, albeit fairly slowly. It does get faster as it gets more redstone flux. So cobblestone is being made. It should be being dumped into here. It is. As soon as we get 3, it makes a cobblestone pick. That cobblestone pick is placed on the floor. Then that cobblestone pick is used with the auto clicker to generate resources that are then collected by the vacuumulator. The vacuumulator does need to be set to have an output on the bottom and should not be having any item ducts. But once all that is done, also these should not be being generated either anymore. But chat, once that is done, I believe that we have finally now automated the process of generating all of these resources. I think everything here should be good to go. Let me just check. Oh, oofed. Real quick, let me reset my entry point. There we go. And then let's replace that there. Over here, we're making iron pickaxes. That's beautiful. I do need to put a servo there, actually. That's one thing that is missing. It's not quite finished yet because we need to extract some of the excess sticks. Oh, let's not mess this up, chat. Over here, we need to have the left also be an output. Actually, I don't even think we need a servo. As long as auto output is enabled, and this has an input on the right, it should be good to go. It is. Nice. We'll set it to speed 4 as well. We might even be able to get away with, like, speed 5 in terms of power. And there we go. I think we're good. I think we are good. There might be a small chance that if the pickaxe doesn't move in fast enough, we end up with like a backup of dirt. Because if the clicker hits the wall without a pickaxe inside of it, it will produce dirt, right? And so, because you get dirt by just hitting the wall with your bare hands. So we might end up with this getting filled up with dirt over time. That is a problem that's fair, and the same is maybe true for gravel dust as well. Yeah, anything that gets generated when you hit the wall, which is gravel and dirt dust, we might end up with a backlog of those. Hopefully not. But if we do, then we can always just put down, 2 more caches, like up here, for example, to kind of get rid of all of that, and store it for later, I guess. All right, I think we have it. We've got 1,535 uranium and 1,580 some iron. We did have to do a little bit of manual iron and Constantan pickaxing, but I'm pretty sure we're there. I'm pretty sure that we finally have everything it takes to make the normal compact machine. Let me go ahead and bookmark this. So, for the normal compact machine, it's not really that difficult of a setup, really. We just need to make an absolute ton of modularium. And I'm honestly thinking that I'm wondering if I even bother crafting this manually. I think I will do. I was thinking for a brief second that I might... Gosh, it's so many stacks. I was thinking for a brief second that I might just put down another sequential crafter to craft it. But I think it's really not that difficult to manually craft. I think it's definitely going to be faster to do it this way. Even if less automatable for the long run. Okay, I think that we're about there. I think we have all the modularium required to make the normal compact machine. Now we just have to turn it into 4 small compact machines, and also the compact machine wall there. So this requires 4 of those. So okay, so we need 4 small compact machines. Each one of those requires 4 tiny compact machines. So we need 16 tiny compact machines. Which means I need 16 of these, which means basically I have to do a lot of smelting. Like a lot of smelting. So let's just start smelting these up. I do have another furnace lying around somewhere. I have 2 more. I'm going to put them both down to maximize smelting speeds here. This all needs smelting, right? Like, there's no part of the process that requires unsmelted bits. Like, you need modularium for that in smelted form. Even for this, you need it smelted. Yeah, every step of the process requires smelted modularium. So this all needs smelting. All right. Lots of cooking, more furnaces. Yeah, I mean, we could probably make even more furnaces, right? Like, if we wanted to speed this up, which I think we definitely do want to do, we can just pop in and grab some, every time, man. Pop in and grab some cobblestone. Start smelting these faster. Oh, this is off. Yeah, my bad. Thank you, chat. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Lovely. I'll make 2 more. I was going to stop it at that, but, you know, we'll go with 10. We've got basically infinite wood. We're back up over 4,000 again now, which is wonderful. We might as well go ahead and smelt as fast as we can. There we go. All right. Smelting is underway. We've got what it takes now, so we should be able to actually make these 16 tiny compact machines. Let me grab the stack of wood. Let's also make 16 of these. 18's fine, because we are going to need more of them. And kapow. Okay, so we got 16 tiny compact machines. Now we need 16 more compact machine wall to turn those into small compact machines, the 5x5 ones. And then we need 4 more compact machine wall if we're going to make the normal compact machine. But we're pretty much there. We do have to kaplunk all of these through the old press here, though. And I'm being told by the Twitch chat that this can be automated. So I'll test it. Apparently, we can put... So you're saying, chat... Can I rotate that with a crescent hammer? Or maybe the hammer from Immersive Engineering? Oh, you totally can. Okay, so you're saying this works? Oh, it totally does. Okay. And then we can hopper into, like, onto that. Doesn't leave us with a ton of space. But like this, maybe? If I put all 16 of those in there? I mean, yeah. I guess it'll work. Like, they do all get stacked there. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I can do that. I could have just... this. I feel like this served no purpose, right? I could have just dropped all 16 of them onto the thing manually, right? Like that. I mean... Alright. I assume the best way to do this is to have a tunnel on each side, so you can just, like, have this metal press inside the machine and not have to deal with it. You can do it all from the outside, right? Alright, so we're 1 compact machine wall here away from being able to make the 4 other compact machines. So we'll take you, we'll head on through, and then here now we can make 4 small compact machines. Now, from, like, an efficiency standpoint, like a space efficiency standpoint, I don't know if the upgrades are worth it, right? Because right now, each one of these blocks has 100, each one of these compact machines has 125 blocks worth of space, right? Each one is a 5x5x5, which is 125 blocks. 125 times by 5, or 4 even, sorry, is 500 blocks. What's 7x7x7? 343, yeah. So there's more space in 4 small compact machines than there is in 1 normal compact machine. So it's a little inefficient, but there is obviously the advantage of having all of that space in one place, right? So we do have to crush these in the crusher. And I think for the interest of speed, all I'm going to do is just move our power block temporarily over into the crushing room, which is not here. It is in here. So for now, I'm just going to put this down right about there. That should output power into the crusher. It does. Perfect. And then from there, we can just head on up and we can just drop these in one by one. And they should get pooped out of the front right there. It does indeed. Beautiful. And once we've crushed all of these up, chat, all we have to do is craft them with 4 more machine wall. And we're good to go. We have, I think, everything it takes. Let me go and grab my tiny compact machine again. Put that back where it belongs. Modularium-wise, we have enough. So back in here, how are we doing? We've got 2 more there. We just need 2 more on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. As soon as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. As soon as those 7 are processed into compact machine wall, chat, we will finally have what it takes to make a 7 by 7 by 7 compact machine. Look at that. Boom. Back to the overworld. Here we go. Kapow. Oh, chat. We've done it. We've done it. Are you ready? Close to a mansion. Look at all of this space, chat. Look at all of this space. I'm not ready for all of this space. I'm the opposite of claustrophobic, is what somebody in chat just said. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of space, chat. That's a lot of space. And now we begin the process of, I guess, slowly but surely working towards the next compact machine. That being this one right here. Now we're talking the 9x9x9 compact machine that we can eventually get. But I think for now, guys, that's probably where I'm going to wrap up today's stream. Next time we'll come back. We can actually now grow a tree, which is the best. We can actually get a sapling. You get saplings by dropping the bonsai saplings into water. They turn into regular saplings. We already have a few lying around. We can actually plant those and get real trees. We can then use that wood inside of a coke oven, which you're going to have to make, to get hop graphite and hop graphite dust. We can then use that. I believe we blow it up to get the chance of getting diamond dusts. And then hopefully as well in the next stream, we might even be able to get to a refined storage system, which would be very nice indeed. And so we might have to do some reconfiguring of what we have here and whatnot. But we do now have an automated source of all of this stuff. You can see we've got a nice amount of pretty much everything now. You'll see we're already back up on the iron, grit, and uranium, which is very nice indeed. I know for the next compact machine, that one over here, we do need, if we look at our calculator, I think it's 6,000 of each iron and uranium, and then 1,900 redstone, which I think we already have. We do. We got 4,000 redstone. So I'm hoping it won't take us actually too long to get up to 6,000 iron and uranium with this current setup. It'll just kind of churn away in the background whilst we do other things, and hopefully by the time we come to make it, we'll just have everything that it takes.